Hello everyone, it's Wednesday, so that means we're streaming a bit extra this week. I'm Money Black Mage and we are continuing 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I realized I left the volume on high because I was using this to record something earlier. And I left that up, so hopefully that wasn't so bad. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're having a great middle of the week. It is New Year's Eve. And now I feel pressured because I didn't get too much editing done today, so I'm like, oh crap, I was supposed to have this thing ready by tomorrow, but I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be crunch. We'll see. Hey Jax, hey Edgar, how's it going today? Let's settle into my squeaky chair here. I want to jump straight into some of the story because we're getting close on some of them. Even if I miss Thursday, having a recap on New Year's Day isn't so bad either.
Yeah, good idea. You can choose, Miliko. Is something wrong with Sami-chan? First you helped me look for that record. Now this.
Did you hear about Tom Kane, the voice for Professor Utonium? Fortunately, I know who Professor Utonium is.
I just figured,
I know OG Powerpuff Girls, but I know they had like a later version. Did they change the voice or was it still the same guy?
Huh?
But no, I haven't heard what happened to him. Did he die?
Of course. In that case. You cool with that, Iori? Yes. Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure. What do you feel like today, Miwa-chan? You're about to find out.
Oh, shish kebabs.
Was that an izakaya?
Or maybe it's an
I
izakaya.
thought those places didn't open till late. They don't, but you can still order yakitori for takeout. I've been wanting to try it forever. It's so good. Whoa, you're right.
Oh.
It's hot off the grill and charred just right.
Guess we got a trophy for eating food.
What is this, a festival? Feels weird to walk around with this. You're right. People are giving us looks. They say high school girls can get away with anything.
That is
But
untrue.
This is embarrassing. Just try a bite, Usami-chan. Oh. Whoa, that is good. I love the sauce.
Okay.
Well then, now that that's taken care of, do you have something to tell us, Iori-chan? Huh? Don't think we can't tell. What are you guys talking about? Come on, spill the beans. I thought we were friends, Iori-chan. Are you not going to tell us what happened with your crush? We have a right to know.
So entitled.
Did you at least get his name? Don't tell me. You just ran up to him and confessed. His name is Sekigahara. Sekigahara? Of all people. You know him, Usami-chan? Well, let's just say you should stay away from that guy. Why? He's not a normal high school kid. He's involved in some shady business. I know our ways of life are worlds apart. It may be dangerous. It may be stupid.
Hey Sarah, how's it going tonight?
But I can't stop how I feel. Iori.
Speak of the devil.
Fuyusaka,
Huh? Sekigahara-kun.
come with me.
What? But...
You. What do you want with Iori?
Tell me, Kisaragi. There's no time to explain. Just come. Please, Fuyusaka.
Iori-chan, follow your heart. If you need to go, then go. Right.
Do you still have those dreams?
Huh?
The premonitions you told me about.
Yes.
I think his motorcycle looks really
They're
cool.
not actually premonitions. They're the memories
His
of
future
Chihiro
cycles look really
Morimura.
cool.
Our teacher?
You received
Time
them
just
in a
seems to be
memory
flying by.
transplant.
I don't know how it is for everyone else.
No way.
Future technology does have that capability.
You mean Miss Morimura is from the future?
Correct. Just as you saw in your dreams.
If that's true, are Amiguchi-kun and Karabe-kun the same?
Karabe? You're acquainted with Tamao-san?
Tamao? No, I meant Juro Karabe from my class.
Juro. So that's it.
Why did I have a memory transplant?
If I had to guess, no. It's better you hear it from her directly.
From Miss Morimura?
We'll be seeing her soon.
She's at the park? Hey, wait!
Looks like we got here first. Let's wait here. What is it?
Hey, Sekigahara-kun. Would you mind if I called you A-kun?
Casey.
If
No
that's
helmet
what you
kids these
want.
days. I mean, yeah, you're right. That's okay, their nanomachines will keep them safe.
What's wrong?
Oh, so he takes the pills too.
Are you okay?
You know, I grew up just like you. Right here in Ashitaba City. Well, 80 years into the future, that is. You saw it, right? The wreckage. It'll happen here any day now. Just as you saw in your dreams. This town will come under attack by the Daimos.
If those dreams were Miss Morimura's memories, that's why you both came here, right? To
Is this
fight
gonna
the
end
Kaiju?
with A losing his memories?
Not Morimura.
And that's how we find him in the other routes?
Not anymore. At this point, it's up to us.
Us?
The compatible ones. Those capable of altering this world. You're one of them. But this world is beyond saving.
Huh?
Would you like to come with me? We can go back 16 years and try again. The city may go down, but it won't take us with it. 16 more years should be enough time to prepare. We'll win next time. Would you like to? We can go 16 more years. We'll win.
What about Miwa-chan? She's still here. And so are my parents. What would happen to them?
They'll be attacked by the Daimos, and that'll be it. But your parents aren't real. Chihiro Morimura came here from Sector 1. You're no different.
Oh, come on.
No, I literally mean you're no different.
They're my family.
If you decide to stay here, you'll perish along with them.
I don't have a choice,
do I? In that case, I'll do it. Just like in my dreams. I'll fight and protect everyone.
And how do you plan on doing that? Juro has no memory of what happened, but I expect you'll have his help.
You mean Kurabe-kun? What about you? Won't you be fighting too?
Ryoko-san and I... we don't have much time left. I can't afford to stay around.
Oh.
That's the kind of guy I am. I don't deserve your love. Do you get it now?
Ei-kun. Well... You know what? I'll go check if Miss Morimura's here yet.
Fuyusaka-san.
She looks just like in my dreams.
Explain. Why did you bring her here?
To expose your secrets. She has a right to know.
Miss Morimura.
Go on. Tell her.
Love 9, good morning. I suppose, yeah, good morning. Good evening for me. But good morning to you.
Is it true? Are my dreams really your memories? Why would you do such a thing?
If you're not gonna talk, I'll do it. You wanted to write your memories and personality onto Fuyusaka, right? So you could someday take over.
What?
She was trying to assume your identity.
Fine, I'll explain. That was my intention. But things have changed.
Oh?
Operation Aegis is all we have left.
So then, what's going to happen to me?
Well, I hadn't gotten to the final step. You'll continue on as Iori Fuyusaka. You do carry my memories within you. But even that process was left incomplete. Juro made sure of it. Thanks to him, my memories are nothing but dreams to you.
You mean the Kurabe-kun I saw in my dreams?
426. Did you perform a memory transplant on him, too?
No. I have nothing to do with his current state. If it were up to me, I would have changed him back into the old Izumi-kun.
Oh. Your memories just hit me. I understand how you feel.
Is that why you transplanted the memories of Tamao Kurabe? It can't be. Tell me your real objective.
She's not lying about her feelings. I can tell.
Yes, I transplanted memories into Tamao Kurabe and Shu Amiguchi. I had to deliver on a promise I made.
But there has to be a reason they were compatible. That's what I need to know. That's why I called you here. Tell me.
The truth is, I am no longer human. When the reset occurred, the world that I was in was taken over. At that time, the real me died.
Then what are you now?
An illusion produced by universal control. That's all that's left of me.
Huh.
You're an illusion? I don't understand.
To be honest, I thought Miwako was going to be an
How
illusion,
did
but
that happen?
sure, why not?
Isn't Sector Zero supposed to prevent that? Going there allows you to escape to the next world.
The concept of living through a reset is something of a misunderstanding. In short, it's not possible. Sector Zero is unique. Going there is not akin to a typical sector shift. Instead, it scanned me in as data. And with that data, Universal Control did its work. It created a perfect replica of me in the next world.
So that's what a loop really is.
There are 15 humans capable of carrying out the plan.
What plan?
The plan made in the year 2188 to continue the species. But I'm no longer a part. I'm nothing but a doll, held captive in the 5 sectors. I'm incapable of fulfilling my mission.
So you turn to the version of you who was born into this world. Iori Fuyusaka. In time, she and you would be one and the same. That's how you plan to reclaim your humanity.
Sekigahara-kun, I gather you intended to make use of Sector 0 as well.
You would be correct.
And you planned to put a stop to Operation Aegis, didn't you?
Yes. By killing you.
Huh?
Are you going to shoot me right here and now?
You can't do that!
If Operation Aegis were put into motion, this world would be cut off from universal control. What would become of you then?
Data stored in Sector 0 can function independently of UC.
In other words, you'll continue to live. Human or not. So that's the way it is. Ryoko-san and we never had a way out in the first place.
Aikun!
All 3 of them were there. That's funny.
Aikun, I'll protect you. Let's do
Your
this
copy of
together.
13 Sentinels will arrive January 2nd of 2030. That's a
If
typo.
only I had the courage to take your hand. That would have been for the best.
To the final battle.
I repeat, we interrupt this program to bring you an important emergency broadcast. A large unidentified object has crash-landed in the city. It is headed north toward Kasumicho, destroying everything in its path. A state of emergency has been declared in Ashitama City. The neighboring 3 wards are advised to evacuate immediately.
It really came. The day of the attack. Only one thing left to do. Aikun Sentinel, number 15. Wait. Aikun, wait! First you show up at school all of a sudden. And then you pull me away to a place like this?
Stay still.
Huh? What? I'm not ready for this.
Found it. Odd place to be shot.
Whoa. What is that?
An activation switch. It's used to call your Sentinel. Don't move. That should do it. If what 426 said is true, that's all I need to do. I registered my Sentinel. Sentinel number 15. It's a robot used to fight the Daimos. It was mine, but it's in better hands with you.
Hey Sam, how's it going
was
tonight?
worthless in the end.
Don't say that.
Fuyusaka,
Huh?
Never mind. It's nothing. Just forget what Morimura said, alright? Believe in yourself.
You gotta believe.
Aikun. Just as Aikun said, I'm going to believe in myself now. Mom, Dad, Miwa-chan and the rest. I can do it. I can protect you all. It's time. I may be just a schoolgirl, but now I'm a schoolgirl with a giant robot.
Yep. Alright. I think that's 3 people cleared so far. 4 people cleared so far. Alright, cool. Man, Megami. We have a lot to answer for, though. Alright, let's go with Natsuno. She's pretty close.
Right.
That is, like, not a very good hiding spot. I mean, like, Ryoko, seriously. Why would I not look at my own locker?
Huh? You're a second-year student. Goto-senpai. He can also travel through time. So, who exactly is he? The log of this small puncture on my cheek. Why does it glow when I touch it? It's scaring me.
I'm just gonna start rubbing it left to right furiously. Maybe that'll help it.
Aliens really did put something in me. Did you need something from us? It's open. Where's BJ? There you are. Hiding in the laundry basket, huh? Wait, was that girl... was she looking for you?
It seems likely.
You think she's working with the men in black?
Her affiliation is unclear. However, her intentions...
She wants the logs, doesn't she?
correct. Or information on technology and the future.
So far, I have to say none of the conclusions have been really mind-blowing.
People are
A
starting
lot of
to
them just
suspect
kind of
me.
neatly wrap up the points
gotta hurry
of
and
each
find
character
out
so
Sentinel.
far, but most of the time we've
It's
already
only
figured out
UFO,
most of what
right?
they're going to say. I guess it's for
You
those
said
who just maybe
UFO, but
haven't for some reason.
it was manufactured in Japan, wasn't it?
It is the name of a control system.
Hey Gideon, how's it going tonight?
Right. So, where do we find it?
The gate.
But yeah, I agree. You never mentioned what you were about to say about Tom Kane. What happened to Tom Kane?
My bag's been open too. She must have looked in here. If BJ is a... That second year could be outside still. Don't worry. If I see her, I'll just sprint right on by.
Oh, weird that nobody's out
I
right
don't
now.
see her.
You don't see anybody. Like, literally nobody.
We're here.
Activate gate.
What's the matter?
It is sealed off, just like Sector 5.
So we can't go today?
There is an opening in Sector 3. We may be able to go from there.
Sector 3?
It is in 2025.
40 years from now. Which means I'll be in my 50s. I'm having mixed feelings.
Access code approved. Designating sector.
We're here? Jeez, this place is falling apart. I guess 2025 got hit pretty hard too. There's something on the
2025 looking
ground.
pretty rough.
It's a student ID from my school. Ryoko Shinonome, Class 2A. This picture. That's the girl I saw in the track room. How'd this get here? This place is in ruins. But it almost seems like someone's living here. Is the UFO close by?
It's 1.7 kilometers away.
Hey, don't leave me behind again! We're supposed to stick together! Stop right there. Shinonome-senpai? Wait, did you time travel too?
I've been waiting. I knew you'd be here. This is 426's hideout. You're working with him, aren't you?
42 who? The heck are you talking about? I've never been here before in my life!
Don't play dumb. I'll deal with you later, Natsuno Minami. And when I do, you will tell me where he is. But right now, my mission is to take that data unit back with me. Now hand it over. Ryoko Shinonome. You're being used. There's a reason they want you to find me. It's to prevent you all from seeing the logs and uncovering the truth. I don't care about that.
I do.
Even the logs about you. And Tetsuya Ida?
You're not taking BJ!
Natsuno, don't. Out of my way.
Oof.
Natsuno!
It's freezing. Wait. Where am I again? Oh crap, that's right! PJ! PJ! He's not here. PJ! He's... Maybe he's... Nope. Never mind.
Does it feel like a sleepy week to you guys too? It kind of feels that way to me. Very quiet, sleepy week. Not too much going on, not too much controversy going on, which I think is fine.
PJ!
But in that quietude,
Not
I
over
don't know.
here either.
Very quiet end of the year. I think normally I'd be okay with that, but
What a mess. With the way things are, it's looking pretty grim for me. I can't go home.
but then she does get warped back to where she was. Or maybe over with Yuki. I wonder if this is the part, because this is probably going to be her finale, where she finds out that she's her mom. Kobana, how's it going today? Thanks for jumping in chat. How's your day going along? Alright, let's do a battle real fast. Alright, we got a lot of people down. Karabe, Yakushigi. Ooh, it's gonna be rough. Alright, so we need to do another battle, is what we need to do. Horde of Drum Mine, though. That's annoying. Oh, wait, that's the one we just did. Isn't it? No, no, it is. I thought we just did one like that. Horde of Drum Mine and Twin Tail. Okay, isn't that what happened here? No, that was Worker and Hunter. Alright. Let's just do a really quick, easy battle. And freshen up. Who needs experience?
I got this. I'm on it.
Even though both these guys will be out for the next one, I'm okay with that. Because we're facing a horde, I want some, you know, defensive AoE controlling guys.
You want me to go?
Someone's gotta do it.
Hey Grax, how's it going today? I jumped in, by the way, watching you try to take on Yozora.
Walking in this thing is rough. I've got this weird pressure in my
You're getting
legs,
further.
like they're super cramped. It's not
But
just
yeah, that
me,
fight
right?
is very frustrating. All I can say is
All I
play
can
it
think about is
very
how weird it is
defensively
to see you in a robot, Usami-chan.
and pick your
I mean,
windows
I
very
heard about the
tightly.
kind of dreams you've been having.
Like a lot of Organization 13 fights, it's all about having a stronger defensive game than having an offensive game. Because you'll have plenty of damage rounds, but you have to survive to those damage rounds with very tight blocking windows. Have like a lot of counters too. Actually, we didn't play this. It's just a refreshing fight.
Stay calm. Lend us a hand.
No room for it.
I'll just...
The thing I don't like about the double one is that, for some reason,
Need help.
it places both of them right next to each other. I can't place, like, them one over here, one somewhere else.
What's the plan?
I think it's
What's
kinda lame.
optimal? Backup deployed. My man, we've got it rough.
Oh, I didn't realize you could shield your little drone units too. That's actually kind of cool.
Shield them.
Thank you. Jeez. How do I... Here goes. How's that? I beat the kaiju.
What's the plan? Don't let up. Number 11, moving out. No point overthinking it. What do I do? Number 10, moving out.
What'd you do? What's the situation? Number 14.
Are we
beginning movement?
Stay calm. Number 20, moving out. Here's the plan. Number 22, advancing. Man, we've got it rough. My treat. My turn now. Here goes.
playing Smash? Don't mind me then. Good luck. Corbina trying to make the hustle. I get it. Another day, another dollar. Hey JQ, how's it going tonight?
Always think ahead. Good timing. Signal offline.
They're here. Stay calm.
They ought to be using.
I need to think.
Bingo! What's the plan? Are we?
What's the
Better put on a show for Yuki-chan. Shield them.
Thank you.
I don't know why I did that. That's not what I meant to do.
What do I do?
Thanks. Now then. How's this? That easy? Good. Place is
I saw this from this.
enemy threat range.
I can do it. It worked. I'm okay now.
How's the Sentinel? Move. How was that? Nothing special.
I still have a
Hope I
fear.
can pull my weight. Don't miss. Nice. That's some power. That easy. Good. Always think ahead. How's this? Hit. They're like any other.
He's just chilling out, scratching his nose.
Enemy signals confirmed. Aegis activated. Surrounding.
Looks like all the enemies.
Yep. Done. We've already done this.
If they are current, so it's true.
We did it.
That was straightforward.
Okay. Actually. I think this will be useful too, score boost, because we're at the point where that matters. And 1 minute is a long time because, man, 1 minute is pretty big. We might be able to actually just beat the score with that. Because we need about... yeah, like, a lot. Like 5 million points. But either way, we can get that if we have enough. Oh, so she gets 8 units. Nice. Yeah, because with this, now they have 12 units running around for interceptors, which is pretty darn nice. I kind of like the idea of shielding. Gravity missiles sounds useful, but I'd rather have him using his turns for support. Flare torpedoes, interceptors. Throwing a shield up is nice too. Alright.
We have to fight.
I'll go.
So level 8's the highest it goes, huh? Okay. Zach, how far are you in the game? Pretty far. We're pretty far. We might even be finishing this up next week. Honestly, we're so close. Just several people's stories as well as fights. I know we have to go through all of Goto, and Goto is probably going to be like the finale for everybody. Where it's like, oh, everything you thought you knew. Surprise, get wrecked. Actually, we'll have healing just to be safe. Alright. Alright, so we have Kurabe, we have Yakashigi. Don't die. Alright, let's rock and roll. What game are you gonna play next? Probably Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played that.
Operation Aegis.
I was so excited when it was first announced so long ago, and just as time went on and the more I saw of it, the less excited I was. I was like, oh, okay, so it's gonna be that kind of game.
I can't even imagine where we'd be. Tetsuya Ida probably never realized Sentinel combat would get this rough.
Even if we got another chance somehow, our chances of winning wouldn't be any better. Even the one they called 426 couldn't have predicted this.
He wasn't exactly a nice cat, but I trust him.
You're right. No turning back now. All we can do is see it through.
Okay, good, Warren Edge. I like having our back to a wall. Makes it a lot easier to handle things.
Need help. We must win.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a little triangle here.
Back me up.
Hey, there's still
No
hope.
progress.
Okay, what's the plan? No fight I can't win. Number 21 on the move. Okay, let's do this. How's that?
We must win. Number 23. There's still hope.
Oh wait,
We must win.
there's a big one coming right over there.
Number 23.
That
I'll
do
make
it?
it work.
Let's get him.
I guess life comes at you fast. What next?
That's a lot of dudes.
Unbelievable.
Are those drum mines?
I'm acting like an amateur.
They actually are mostly ground. Okay.
This isn't so hard. Watch this.
I guess life comes at you fast. Number 12, moving
Let
out.
us survive.
I really hate how you can't move this further in. It seems so
I
ridiculous
won't give up.
that I have to move slightly back.
I'll make it work.
I need to think things through. There's still hope.
More chumps incoming.
Signatures from above.
Let's clear off some of these guys.
What now?
I may ask Juro to go over there and kill that guy. Yeah. Gonna have to ask you to walk over to Juro.
I can keep this thing moving. How's that?
We must survive. I'm counting on you.
We are getting swarmed.
Okay.
Alright, Guardian Avenger, everybody over here.
I'm here. I need to get out. I'll make it work. Enemy threat range.
Two of these guys.
They're finished. How's that? Enemy down.
I'll take it down quick.
Asshole.
Nah, we'll go with the target rich environment.
I can take them all.
That's a lot of numbers.
Got it. Did I? Watch this. We must win. Take that.
Leave it to me.
Alright, now we should be able to cut these guys. Alright. Here we go. Nice.
What now? I'm on it. Got it. Cut you down.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh wait, I haven't been doing the stupid... Ah, I'm so dumb.
Still not used to this thing.
Score boost. I forgot about score boost. I was so dumb. I didn't even think about that. Alright.
Okay, what's the plan? Don't screw with me! That do it? Give it up!
Did I?
How's
I
that?
won't give up. Did I? Destroy. Not to do. I need to think.
We might as well do it for everybody we can.
What's the situation? I'll just... I need to think.
Actually... I need to get over there and cut people.
Beginning movement.
They're finished. Senseless.
So, what's my next move? I'll show you. Is that okay? Yes. I need to think things through.
Let's see. I went on my way to buy the score multiplier and I completely forgot to use the score multiplier. I feel so silly.
We must survive. Number 23.
Okay, let's do this.
Bunch of lights.
can you do? Nice.
I need to think things through. I'll take them down quick.
Are you close enough? Yeah, you are. Shining Finger. Dude, 27k damage.
Termination of enemy signals confirmed.
Ooh, even us being late on that. Look at our final score. So close.
Aegis activated. Terminal closure complete. Surrounding 2-kilometer area now fully secure. Ending tactical analysis.
This is getting rough. Feels like it could all end at any second. So, Kisaragi, there's something I gotta tell you. Well, I like you.
Now hold on.
What?
Seriously? Here? Now? You are such an ass! You have no idea how to do this!
But, hey, what are you talking about?
Ha.
I mean, we're still in open comms. Everybody can hear you. Kinda awkward.
What, that's bad? But this is how they always do this stuff in the movies.
Well, yeah, when they're about to die.
Ogata-kun? I thought you sounded kinda cool. Sorry, Karabe, but that shit just makes me feel even worse.
That's funny.
Man, this is rough.
Zach, why do they not have clothes on when they pilot the Sentinels? Usually how it works, and this is kind of how it's for a lot of mech shows, they have to wear very either highly ventilated clothings or they just go in naked, because usually the cockpit is so incredibly hot. They don't have space for air conditioning there, and all the moving parts and machinery just means the cockpit is incredibly just roasting hot. So they either just go in naked or they just have super tight fitting clothes that can insulate you. That's usually how it goes in a lot of these mech shows. Or they wear like astronaut suits, which are designed to repel against like solar flares and incredible variations in temperature, things like that. They don't just wear normal jumpsuits. See, even us being late, we were very close to the target score. We should have just popped that early. Right there in the middle of a mess of guys. That was an easy fight though, but that's because I put on all my area control people. Good mix. Out of curiosity, where is our score? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. If we just play the score multiplier smart, we could do that. Clear within 1 minute, clear without anybody dying. Hordes of shield units will appear though. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. Alright. We'll do that later. Let's see, do we have anything new? We have 42 mystery points. Do we have anything to spend it on? Oh, wait, here we go. It's kind of a very late time to introduce Onishi. Potato Abrams, how's it going? Welcome to chat. This game is 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. It is made by Vanillaware, the same people who made Odin Sphere, Muramasa, Dragon's Crown. It is a visual novel slash RTS-like game. and it came out early in September. Alright, let's finish up with Yuki.
Cool.
And yeah, it kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people. It got some acclaim when it was nominated for Best Story of the Year, or Best Narrative of the Year. Which, by the way, irks me. You thought we were going to be an hour in and I wasn't going to have a rant. I do. That irks me. How they call it Best Narrative. Because narrative isn't story. Narrative is how you tell the story. So it's not an award for Best Story. It's an award for the best way to tell a story. And if that's the case, then I would kind of agree that this, or even debatably, whether or not you liked it or not, it is certainly an interesting way to tell a story, was the winner, which was Last of Us Part 2. Because they tell it in very non-traditional ways, this one and Last of Us Part 2. So in terms of best narrative, I would agree. Those are, especially this one, this is such an interesting puzzle piece way of telling a narrative. So in terms of narrative, yes, this is very interesting. It should have won, if not been a very high contender. But most people wouldn't know that because they didn't play it. This was going to be on my backlog until, again, I saw it and I'm like, oh, interesting. Because I bought it when it came out and threw it immediately in the backlog, but I immediately jumped on it when I saw it was nominated for a Game of the Year award for that category.
A city.
Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, so we can go to the old school building. That's the next one. Cool.
Erica Iba is a robot?
So,
Or more accurately,
that part, just like we were talking yesterday about
by the
what
name
best
of Joey,
direction means,
who has
and
a
how just
physical body of
irrelevant
his
that
own.
is to the video game
He wanted
format,
to do something
to me it
something
bothers
that
me
involved
best narrative as
shooting me
well.
up with nanomachines.
That is such a misleading term, and it's used incorrectly. Now, say it is being meant literally as is, that means that the people who are voting on it don't understand, you know, exactly what it's supposed to be talking about. People are voting on it thinking it means best story, and that's not what that is. Best story does not mean best narrative.
The Kisaragi involved in the bathroom incident. It was really just a robot built to look like her. Then that robot got damaged and was disposed of in the old school building. And now the robot's brain is in Iba's body. So how many days has it been since Na-chan went missing? I was told she'd be able to find food, but I'm worried about her. I should hurry and get to the old building. Sekigahara is there. I saw anyone there?
But to me, it can't just win because it does something different. Doing something different is a good start, but you have to do something different and do it well. You still need to tell an interesting story. Just because how you tell it is interesting, the story itself can still be bad. There's a relationship. You can't do one without the other. And you can have a good story that's just told in a boring way. And that's something where the story may be good, but the narrative is just not terribly exciting. And honestly, for some people, that's fine. They just want a good story. They just want it, you know, from point A to point B. No loops, no, you know, revelations, no subversions. Just a straight, deliver what the audience is asking for, vanilla story. And it's not about which one's better. It's about which one's more appropriate for the story and the creative vision you have. It's just tools in a toolbox. Every screwdriver and wrench and hammer is correct. It's just the situation with which it's utilized that makes it appropriate.
Maybe he's still looking for her. Or maybe he got caught.
We are here.
Sekigahara, what happened?
The nanomachine separation inside the brain is progressing.
What does that mean?
So this is the part where he loses his memory. Because I knew at some point he was going to. Because I'm pretty sure Megumi did not succeed in any of her attempts to shoot him. I think. It's been a while.
I still have my memory.
But he still loses his memory.
I just ran out of my pills.
And then he leaves a message for himself.
Don't mind me. You were searching for Natsunomi Nami. We've determined her location. She's in Sector 3.
What?
Miura?
It is only speculation. But there is a high probability that she is there.
Okay, great! Let's go get her! Oh, wait. Sekigahara.
Go without me.
Does that comparison sound like Oliver
just
Twist
needed
versus
to
David
tell you.
Copperfield? Nice reaches.
Besides,
Good
the
pulls.
black suits are only after me now.
And I suppose that's one way of looking at it,
Bad
yeah.
if they think you're my accomplice. Better to avoid being seen together at all. Come over here.
What is it? What is this thing?
Take it with you.
I don't know how to use it.
You'll need it to save Minami. I need to ask you a favor in return. Miura is carrying a message for me. If I were to ever lose my
Nick, it's
memory,
strange being as exposed to as much media as I have in life. I've seen so many movies and played so many games that plots just seem recycled. The same plots sell over and over, and it takes something to really stand out to catch my attention. The last game I really enjoyed was Final Fantasy 15 and Red Dead 2 before that. Kind of makes me worry for the future of entertainment media. Well, Nick, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but for the past almost 3,000 years in storytelling, there's only ever been 6 plots. There's only ever been 6. And there's just been, it's just been, you're right, if you want to extrapolate that and really just make it an abstract argument, you're right, you are only seeing the same plots over and over and over with different characters, faces, and events. But that's not the beginning and the end of it, is it? It's good that you have such a variety under your belt, because I think having more variety and having more experience like that, like you have, where you've exposed yourself to a lot of different games, varieties, and experiences in storytelling, that it allows you to identify the nuances between what is very average, which of course you're going to have the most of. You should expect most things to be average, because that's what makes it most average. And the things that therefore are exceptional, that rise above that, that's what really should be celebrated. Not necessarily duplicated to death, but celebrated and cherished for when they really do go out of their way to do something not only interesting, but different, and do it well. I do hope that you don't end up being too much like me, and because of seeing so much of that same recycled content, eating that same sandwich over and over and over and over, that makes it alienating to discuss it to most people, that you ended up become jaded like me. Just so very jaded. To me, I remain optimistic. Optimistic. I think that there's no shortage of creativity, which can always flavor up an otherwise mundane storyline. I think there's still a lot of ideas and a lot of adventures to have.
Where is Nachon?
Southeast, 3.2 kilometers. There is an unusual
So, don't give up hope just
concentration
yet.
of androids.
Great. More of those creepy-ass robots.
They must have found something.
Something? You mean Nachon?
This unit possesses no attack capabilities. It is up to you.
I know. I won't fail. I'm ready. Lead the way.
She's gonna strut 3.2 kilometers that way.
They're back.
Robot's like, I didn't see anything.
They won't come in here. But if I take even one step outside, they'll attack. Ever since I got here, they just keep on coming. I ate my last can of food yesterday. And now the soda I was taking sips from is empty too. Oh, what should I do? Am I going to die here?
It just seems like Idiocracy was onto something. Of course it was. Idiocracy was very factual. I know it was satire and comedy, but there was a lot of truth in that too.
Aim for the battery.
That's what I'm doing! Like I'm supposed to know how to use a freaking gun.
You did well.
But yeah, not all hope is lost.
Yuki-chan?
No, John! I'm so glad you're okay.
Yuki-chan!
I finally found you.
Grax family wants to play a
You're
card game?
safe now,
Nice.
all
Good luck.
right.
I know. But why are you here, Yuki-chan?
I'd come find you anywhere, Not-chan. Even if I have to cross time and space to do it.
Oh, Yuki-chan!
The Gene Bowler's magnetic shield is still active.
BJ!
It is why the androids could not approach.
You came back for me!
Of course. Small talk must come later. There are 4 androids approaching.
Because here's what's cool
Let's
about
go.
video games.
No matter what comes our way.
And same thing for books and movies.
I will protect
But this is
you
unique among video
with
games.
everything I
Is that
have.
with video games, it's not just telling a story. You're engaged in it as well. There are worlds one can explore. There are characters one can relate to while exploring that world. And even though we have familiar stories, that familiarity is just the starting point. It's not the ending point of predictability per se. It's just the familiarity that allows you to get immersed that much faster, while then perhaps delivering something interesting with a character that you've identified with. Getting you engaged and hopefully immersed in the story and the world, engaged with the characters, that's what makes video games unique. Now, how well that's done, who knows? Do a lot of video games do it? You know, a lot of noteworthy ones do. Do most of them do it? Hell no. But does that mean we give up hope? No, of course not. It just means we celebrate the ones that do. We try to recommend it to our friends. And they're like, nah, I don't like that type of game. Looks lame.
Yep.
Alright, that's 5 people down. Now we're gonna go for 6.
This should be a good spot, right? The river's nice and wide. Plus, no one else is around. It shouldn't be a problem if the Sentinel pops up here.
Are you going to summon it right now? Perhaps we should wait until nightfall.
Well, we're going to send it right back, aren't we?
If it's only for a second.
What's the
then it
difference
should
in the
be fine.
colored shapes?
I
What do you
want to
mean? What
change
color
the
shapes?
registered pilot of Sentinel number 17. To you, Natsuno.
Wait, right here? Why?
Are you talking about these colored shapes?
I was previously using Miura's ID.
Shout out to Tales of Exilia 1 and 2.
Of the ID returned to him.
It's been like 4 years since I've done Exilia. I feel so bad. I meant to do Exilia 2 so many years ago.
Sentinel. In order to shift to the Sentinel, it must receive a new pilot. And this change comes with a price. It will reset the Sentinel's stored memory.
Wait, that's not good.
Then, what do we do?
We'll will transfer all data logs to me.
Wait, you have
If it's
hands?
done at the same time we change the registered pilot, I should be able to secure the log data.
Good thinking, BJ.
That's the duping trick I used to do with Pokemon Gold and Silver. If you transfer a Pokemon and disconnect the link cable at the same time, there's a very good chance the Pokemon gets duplicated. I used to do that all the time. Ye old dupe methods.
As long as Nachan isn't in any danger.
I remember the first time I did it, my Espeon that I duped had a trainer ID of all question marks, and yet it still wasn't considered illegal by the game.
There is another Sentinel for you.
What did you say?
You must work together.
Potato Abrams.
And survive.
Yes, okay, so yeah, that is an indicator of not only which path you're on, but the relevant points of that path. It is a flowchart.
Natsuno, it's time to activate.
Yeah, you figured it out. Look at that suave way she does it.
Dang, that was fast.
Now send it back, Nachan.
How do I do that? Huh?
It disappeared.
Does that mean it worked, BJ? BJ?
Also, at one point, he was taken over by 426.
You okay, buddy?
Let's not
Say
forget
something.
that.
He's no longer with us.
What?
BJ was the only one who could retrieve the log data. But the storage capacity on a scout unit like that is limited. He couldn't store both the log data and his own AI data. So in order to make room for the logs, he deleted himself.
No. No, you're wrong.
In order to make install size for Call of Duty Cold War, he had to delete his
Going
system
around.
memory.
Come on. Wake up, BJ.
I don't know why they made it so big. It doesn't make any sense. It's too much for a scout unit.
BJ?
Why is it so unoptimized? Do you think achievements and trophies in games have enhanced or detracted from the experience of playing games? I tend to lose interest in new games that I complete, but I replay N64 games often. Also, press F for BJ. We salute your service. Thank you. Goodbye, robot buddy. Interesting question. So, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have said that achievements have only enhanced the experience because while I'm playing, it has given me additional objectives within the game to strive for and complete, giving perhaps some additional content, if you will, in terms of objectives that I can do to make me feel like I'm getting more bang out of my buck. If you ask me now, I have to say it does not impact. It's not a detractor. It's a nice to have that doesn't alter my decision of the perceived value of the game. Because I don't platinum or 100% or get 1,000 gamer score in games like I used to. I really don't. I just don't have the time for it anymore between, you know, real obligations, but also recap, where I'm not just playing this entire game for completion. I'm just, you know, chewing it up and spitting it out and moving to the next thing. So, in my haste, I do not have the ability to enjoy it like a luxury. Now, if I was back in the day a little bit more of the average gamer where I could just, you know, take my time, enjoy, do everything, really enjoy the fine meal, you know, pick it apart, and then when I'm done, put it away. And even if I never touch it again, I know that I've done everything that I wanted to do for it and what even the game asked for it. And I've done everything. Now I'm just content with just beating the story. If I get a couple of achievements out of the way, great. If a game isn't too out of the way to 100% or platinum, I will probably do it. There is a small sense of satisfaction with that, just giving a nice little accolade for the recognition of taking the effort. But I don't go out of my way like I used to. In fact, a game like this where you get almost all of the trophies just by playing the game naturally, I'm okay with. But it isn't the reason why I purchase a game. That's my motivation. You tend to lose interest in new games, but you complete by replaying 64 games often. Personal gaming choice. I can't comment on that. To each their own. Alright, 6 people down. Who's the next closest to getting cleared? Nenji. Yeah, let's do Nenji. He should have 2 more chapters in him and then that's it. I don't know, what do you guys feel? Do you guys feel that achievements or trophies have enhanced the value of your games? Have they been detractors? I don't feel it's a detractor because it's an optional thing, like a difficulty mode. Like, you can have as many difficulty modes as you want, or none at all. And to me, that's never a detractor. That's why I don't believe in that whole thing where some people are like, you know, this game's meant to be super hard. Don't put an easy mode in these games that are supposed to be high skill, high patience games. I use skill in air quotes, by the way, because it's really more of a high patience game than a high skill game. Because in many repetitions, just perhaps the sheer numbers alone, regardless of skill, you will still do it. If I can train a dog to jump precisely at the right amount of times, and still perform these quote-unquote high-skill maneuvers you do, then I really have to ask you, is it really a high-skill maneuver or is it just repetition until succession? Anyway, just having the option of a different difficulty doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the game. It just changes the level with which people it just takes that patience meter and moves it somewhere along a scale to where people with higher or lower patience and time can enjoy it at the pace that they want. So if your objective is to convey a story, if your creative vision is that, then sure. And if your creative vision is not that, if it is to extrapolate as much just arbitrary patience out of people through whatever contrived mechanics you have for your game, then providing different options is not a bad thing, because if you, the player, have different options before you, pick the one that's right for you. What's the big deal? Just because other options exist, what does that mean to you? Just don't use it. Ignore it. What difference does it make to you if you're never gonna play that mode? It's like, I'm offended. I don't want anybody to think my internet cred is perhaps tainted. Perhaps they thought that I beat this game on baby mode. Oh no, what will my online rep be like? Whatever. You beat the game. Most people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you beat the game? Well, what challenge mode did you play it on? Huh? Let me pull up your video game credit score. People act like that's what it is. People act like there's a video game credit score. Like they're applying for a house loan, and the stakes are that high. Oh my god. Actually, real fast, before we start this, let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Minami's got the key. But if I let Okino know, I'd be throwing her under the bus. That Izumi guy, he said he'd handle it. Can I even trust him?
General Karabe from another world? If that's really true...
Oh, you're actually watching after we're gonna Max,
This lady's
Ibrahim?
gotta
That's
be a
hilarious.
Fuyusaka from another world. When I was a kid, she did something to my key. I remember now. She said something about the
I think you just
Sentinels.
have pattern recognition,
Probably talking
and you
about
probably
that
figured
robot
this
I
was going to
saw
be
in
the
the
next thing I was going
future
to title it.
So the one who has the key, they're the one calling these monsters out. Even if they don't want to. Never thought Minami would have it.
Nick, I think achievements affect replayability. I would agree with you on that part. If somebody wants to continue replaying a game just to get all the trophies or achievements, sure. Accolades are important in today's fast gratification society. Debatable. People are so uptight when it comes to competitive gaming these days that it's almost embarrassing trying to fit in to a hardcore crowd when you've never prestiged in COD in your life or beat a Gears game on Insane. Is it? I don't know. I don't hang with those type of people. To me, if a lobby's getting too sweaty, I'm out. I don't hang in sweaty lobbies, is the thing. Like, that's just not my crowd. That's what got rid of, like, a lot of games that I played, or used to play just for fun. It's like, even with fighting games, or, like, shooting games, like, I'll tell people, yo, man, I just play for fun, I don't play for glory. And if I just open up the conversation like that, you know, it kind of relaxes, because some people feel this social pressure. I think, Nick, is what you're talking about, which is, yes, there is some social pressure among some people to try to be like, hey, I'm an alpha gamer, I've done this, I've done that, blah blah blah. It's like when people have this illusionary status. There are a lot of people that care about status, that is true, and it doesn't matter what faction is in their life, but that's not everybody, you know that. I wouldn't say people, even competitive gaming, there are lots of ways to compete in a game. You know, it's like, hey, I just started playing Fall Guys. Oh yeah, well, are you in the 50 plus crowns club? It's like, okay, you know, relax. There are some sweaty lobbies like that. It's like, relax, man, relax. It's just a game. And to me, if the lobby you're in, or the circle you're in, is so sweaty, dude, the world's a big enough place. You can find another circle or find another lobby, especially now. You should hang out in my Discord. We are super chill.
I want to ask you something. If you knew the world was going to end in a couple of minutes, how would you
Kefka,
spend them?
Atlas did not market this game enough. I would agree
Where's
with you.
all this coming from?
I just want to know how you feel.
But the development was such a long time that perhaps that's where most of their budget went.
A few minutes, huh? That's not a lot of time. Well,
Hold on.
I can't really get anywhere in a few minutes. So I guess I'd spend them with you. What's wrong? I didn't cross a line, did I?
You think this pandemic has brought the sweaty lobby lurker in all of us? I can't say it has for me. For me, what I chose to use with my extra pandemic free time is start refining my craft. That's why you see me starting to do, or consolidating all the projects I used to do on other websites into one website, well, YouTube platform. And that's why you're seeing me post more often than I used to, because I'm like, I'm going to use my time constructively. I'm going to build my channel. I'm going to reach out to my audience more. I'm going to stream more in front of them, not just other strangers. I'm going to bring my personal passion for tabletop gaming and article writing and optimization guides to the same platform. I'm not going to put it on other wizards forums like I used to. You know, I'm just going to do it right here in one spot. And that's what I chose to do. If some people are trying to spend their time focusing, hyper-focusing on one thing and, again, make it a competition, that's their choice. Other people's attitudes, in my opinion, shouldn't rattle or affect your own. You're a smart person. You can think for yourself. If somebody has an attitude about one thing that I personally have the same attitude about, then great, you know. Now, if they have a negative attitude about it, that's a personal problem. No skin off my nose. Like somebody's like, oh, you're playing this game too slow. You're such a casual 13 Sentinels player. I'm like, okay. By the way, what difference does it make? Are you gonna tell the official 13 Sentinels commission that I played this game the way that I wanted to on the normal difficulty? Whatever. You know, the way the game was intended.
Guess Okino's not here. Okay, the first train's gonna be Fuyusaka and... Karabe.
But then you also have Ryoko.
Huh? Oh, Ogata-kun. Huh, that's weird. Seems like plain old Karabe again.
Yeah, he's not the smug one.
Actually, this is pretty good timing. Someone was just looking for you. They asked me to give you this. Here you go. Who's this from? Izumi, I think he said. Tsutsuji bound semi-express, departing at 5:12, first car. Who is this guy? What's his angle? Let's see, the 5:12.
Hey Nerdy John, how's it going?
It's the third train, the one Kisaragi gets on. And the first car, that one stops over at the end of the platform.
Nice, I guess we wait for that one. Not gonna talk to me? Come on.
Okay. Ryoko Shinonome gets on the second train.
It's a good thing she's
Hey,
deaf.
Shinonome-senpai. Are you okay? I have to go.
Visual novel? Yeah, visual novel. Also some battle, but mostly visual novel. Like I said, it's mostly a 70-30 split. Nick, what are you playing, by the way? That brings up all this talk of sweaty lobbies. Are you in circles that are constantly comparing their prestige score sizes? That are talking about their KD ratios. Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying earlier, sweaty lobbies is what killed it for Overwatch for me. I used to have so much fun with Overwatch. And I just don't want anything to do with the actual game itself. That's why I'm like not even excited for Overwatch 2. Because I like the character, I like the characters, I like the world, I like most of the lore. I can't get behind it like I used to. Because the core game itself is just so toxic and sweaty.
You're from 1C. Hey. You even listening? Jeez. If I get on the train now, is it even gonna change?
This is the third one, though. Was that wrong?
Back here.
Oh, something popped
okay.
up.
Now you're messing with me too? You're from Minami's class. You another of Okino's goons?
Okino? I don't know who that is.
Then why are you here?
I was told to come here so I could save Nenji Ogata.
You're here to save me?
But Nenji Ogata's right here. So, why are you appearing on this screen?
That's like a version of me inside my own head.
So, I just need to pull this thing off your head?
Hey, don't do that! They said if it gets forced off, I might never wake up again. Jeez. Call the police, I guess?
My contact wants to keep this discreet.
Okay, then call your contact. Get them to do something.
Well, he's a cat, so his options are limited.
He's a what?
He's a talking cat who's here to save the world.
What the shit are you talking about?
What the shit are you talking about?
Do you see any kind of, I don't know, a power button?
None here.
Well, what do you see?
A button that says reinitialize.
Okay, don't touch that. Probably dumps me back at the station.
Something here about a restriction?
Maybe that's it. You think you can turn that restriction off?
I can try.
How's it looking?
Hold on. Still checking.
I wonder where Okino and
You
Takatoshi are.
talked about saving the world.
I guess we'll find out in Takatoshi's
You
round.
mean from the kaiju, right?
Right.
So, all that stuff I saw on the train, it really could happen.
If you could fight back, would you?
Hell yeah, I would.
Then I'll cast a spell on you.
What the? Some kind of robot?
I think I just lifted the restriction.
Really? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now try pressing that reinitialize thing.
Alright, let's finish up the story. The last ones are going by pretty quick.
I guess when you put it like that, maybe you've got a point.
I swear he's Neo just stuck in the
I
train
should
station.
slow down and think a little. Still
Zaf,
though,
which reminds me, I first found this channel when I watched your Trails in the Sky
I
recap.
wanna
Thanks for
make sure
watching
you're
that.
gonna be safe, Kisaragi.
And yes, I am
Jeez,
fully
why do you
aware
sound so
I have not
serious all of a
touched it in
sudden?
over 3 years.
If you're going back, then I'm coming with you. I got something I gotta do. Just wait right here a sec.
Oh, sure.
That big robot. Well, the Sentinel. If I could just pilot that thing. If this crazy loop does eventually become reality, maybe I could at least beat down a couple kaiju.
Hey, who's Okino?
Oh, Ogata-kun. What's wrong?
Okino's here. Looks like it worked. Get out of my way. Just you
Punches
and
him in the
me,
face.
Tsukasa Okino. Can't run this time. Last time, I got out of this place by chasing him.
If you continue down those line of games, it will take you months to finish all of them? I don't think so. You underestimate my power.
Shit. Everything's spinning.
Yeah, the thing that I dislike the most about the Trails in the Sky games is that they are very lengthy games,
that's for
and there's
sure.
not really a way to cut down on them. But they're not the lengthiest games I've played. And just being from a purely editorial standpoint, there is a lot of fluff in them. A lot of stuff that is stuff that you know happens but isn't necessarily story crucial, so there's a lot of fat in those games that I have to end up trimming. It is part of the experience when you play the game, but I'm just talking about it from a recap perspective. Remember, my job is to cut things down to size. I'm a story butcher, but I don't butcher the stories. I just wham, knock the fat out of them like a George Foreman grill. Need sandwich. Sandwich power low.
Over here. Hurry.
She's more badass than I am.
Eh. Like how like how he thinks that she beat him up. Final battle, spoilers.
They're coming back this way again.
We gotta find some way to stop them here.
Anakin, don't make me cut you down to size by being a dumbass and provoking an attack of opportunity by moving through my threatened space.
Natsuno, you're out too?
You know I took the Sentinel feat.
Sucks, huh?
Ironically.
We hit our operating limits at the same time.
What about the others?
They're not doing great. Even Miura-kun.
Miura. Number 19, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call my Sentinel again. Miura-kun!
Reporting in. Number 19 is taking heavy damage. Sorry, I'm shifting out. They never need to rest. The assault never lets up. Everything's falling apart. I let down our defensive line. Please.
You did plenty, man. We're gonna be okay. Let us handle the rest.
I've already hit my operating limit. I'll try to get back in the fray as soon as I'm combat ready. Natsuno-san, I'll fight your share as well. So you don't have to push yourself so hard.
You really don't need to worry about me so much.
I always worry about you.
I'll go.
No. Your Sentinel's already taken a beating. I'll handle this.
Didn't you just dismount? You're already at your limit.
I don't give a shit about my limits. I love you. And that's why I gotta break them.
Oh, he went out and said it. Nice. Good move.
They're here again.
I wanted to come in with like a demolition and just saw it in half.
Get back while you can. I gotta dance with these chumps first.
You must think you're such a badass, you big idiot.
You watch me, Tomi Kisaragi. This time, I swear I'll protect you.
Good intro. That's the way to announce yourself in a battle. High five, Nenji. Lucrezia, how's it going today? Alright, we finished up like a lot of people. Ooh, we're almost at the point where we can actually continue with Takatoshi. We just need one more completion. And that'll probably be A. Yeah, probably A. Alright, let's do a battle. Okay. We're gonna need people with shield penetrating options.
Let's allow me. Understood. Let's go.
My turn.
Ooh, I actually never noticed that. 2 consecutive railgun shots. It's weird that he has, like, almost no support abilities. That's so weird. He's very highly mobile, though. Because floating mine mean he moves with while also dropping the mine. It's kind of cool. Okay. Alright, so we gotta clear this thing within 1 minute. I think we have a good spread here.
I got this. Let's roll.
Damn, are we in the center?
How many terminals we got left?
Looks like 4. Nothing for it. Outnumbered as we are, we have to cover them all.
It's the only chance we have. At least until Miyuki Inaba reconnects with us. Let's do our country proud, Amiguchi. Show these fiends the courage of Japan.
Yeah.
I'll hold them back, no matter what.
You're an inspiration
For
to
Japan.
us all, Yakisoba Pond Angel.
Hijiyama-san, could you stop calling me that? Daimo signatures incoming. They're here.
Looks like duty calls, huh?
Exactly. That's the true pride of the men of Japan. The will to stare death in the face and
Nick,
laugh.
there's one thing I want. Oh, the thoughts on DLC and microtransactions for games. I remember when games came complete with unlockable characters, levels, and all you did was work for them. Now you pay day one for price for a third of the campaign that should have been included. Don't be too cynical. I'm cynical, but that's too cynical. Not every game is like that. There are more games that do not have microtransactions than games that do not. I mean, we're playing a game right now that doesn't have microtransactions or DLC. Although I hear some people say that they might be working on that later. Who knows? This is definitely a complete game. I don't think you can accuse this game of skimping or trimming itself. There's a difference between cut content and additional content. But one thing I do want to point out to you, Nick, is just because 20, 30 years ago, most games didn't do it, it wasn't that they didn't want to do it. Because there was DLC back in the day, if you remember the Sega channel, stuff like that. You can connect your old, like, Genesis to, like, through if there was a phone jack in the back, you could dial a Sega channel, and through the telephone wire, they could give you downloadable content or download games. Like, that's been around since the late 80s. But as the internet came around and, you know, it became easier to create digital marketplaces, yes, DLC came with that to be easier and more convenient. If that technology existed 20, 30 years ago, you bet your butt companies would have done it. They didn't do DLC because of some pride or out of some, you know, ethics or anything like that. They did it simply because the technology wasn't there yet. As soon as the technology was there yet, of course they jumped on it. Every company did. I wouldn't whitewash perceptions of past companies just because they were limited at the time. Preston, why'd you get recommended this from a Danganronpa video? I'm not sure, but I'm glad that you're here, Preston. Welcome in. And also, not all microtransactions are built alike. Are there some predatory ones like loot boxes or premium currencies? Yes, those are the worst of the barrel. But not all DLC are loot boxes and premium currencies. And there are many that are just ways to just add value on top of your game, or ways that the developers can continue supporting the game even months after its release, which is something they couldn't do 20-30 years ago. Providing a complete game up front and then additionally supporting it, I wouldn't be so quick to call that. There are some times where, yes, it feels like it's cut content, but there are many times when it's not.
What do I do?
So I agree with you on a portion of that, and I would temper some of that. Actually.
Lend us a hand.
Man, hope I can pull my weight. Backup deployed. I won't stay calm. I can do this. Shield them.
Thank you.
Where are they?
Imagine if Ratchet & Clank could have released DLC when it came out. Sure. All it would have meant if it went back is that DLC would have become more normalized. And honestly, it is normalized. See, you and I were old enough to remember back then. However, many gamers that are coming into their adulthood now, the previous two generations of game consoles and gaming industry in general have created environments where it is normal to expect DLC. It is normal to expect service and support of a game after it's released. That's normal. So that's the only world they know. You can't blame people for that. It's important to understand the context with which we're talking. Not the existence of DLC is not a problem. The way with which it is applied can be problematic. You just realize your sub doesn't matter? Are you kidding me? Every single sub matters. If you sub to me, I appreciate you. If you don't sub to me, that's your choice, but I hope I can earn your business. I like to say that, hey, if you sub, you can always unsub later. So, it's just one little click. It really does help. Every single sub matters. I would not be the type of person if I'm walking down a street and somebody was like, oh man, I dropped this sub on the ground. I would not be like, I'm not gonna not pick up that sub. Do you think that's putting too much strain on game developers these days with such high demand? No. Because any production scheduling, budgeting, and all that falls onto the game producer. That is their judgment call. So video game producer, that's their responsibility. If it's worth it, it's worth it. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it. It's simply a business decision. Anyway, let's fight this battle. I don't know where I want you yet.
So, what's my
Enemy on the move.
Okay, that's where I want you.
I'll try. Number 10, moving out. Where are they? Enemy on the move.
Can I not get all three of you? Ooh, I think I can.
Man, we've got it rough.
Let's turn this around. This is all pretty freaky.
Alright, we're gonna pick our targets deliberately and focus. Shit. Hate that. Where is the shield generator for these guys? I thought I destroyed all of them.
How do I've gotta do this. Yes! I got him!
Oh wait, is there actually a shield guy underneath that? Is there literally a shield thing underneath that thing? Damn. How can I tell if it has the...
Stay calm. I can do this. Better put on a show for Yuki-chan. Your turn. They're like any other punks.
Alright. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna saw you. Can I get both of you? Sort of.
Class is in session. Got him. That's what you get. That is once. Here's the plan. Shit. Hit confirmed. Good. That's that. Nice.
Let's turn this around. Here goes. They felt that. I
We should probably get out of here. I won't back down from above. Here we go. Did I get it? Point overthinking it. Die already! Get ready! There it goes! This could be good. Are we winning? My treat. I'm on it.
can
Nice.
do this. Right? Please, have fun.
Just buy some time.
Go away.
Stay on guard. I'll stop them. That easy. That's my win. They ought to be used to fights by now.
Can we get a back attack on you? Maybe not. This might just be the better way of doing it.
Let's do this. Take it. See ya.
I can do this.
Are you still alive? You are still alive.
Score!
Damn, really? Okay, good.
Did you see that? So much for that time.
Got a target on my back here. I'll try. Come on. Get ready.
Nice. Good work,
That all you
Neji.
got? Hope I
Man, hyper condenser for Nenji, just that just huge attack radius is so clutch.
Gotcha. Bingo. There you go.
Not throwing away my shot. They don't stand a chance.
Always think ahead. Backup deployed. Take that!
Focus. How do I...
Not really much happening here, is there?
We can do this. Right? I've got to do this. Here goes.
That may not do damage. Oh, I guess it does.
It worked.
Yeah, we're good.
Are we getting their numbers down? I'll show you.
No point overthinking it. I ought to be used to fights by now. Number 10, moving out. Stay calm. I can do this. Don't miss. Nailed it. Bullseye. Enemy down.
With all those little bits there, come on.
Optimal. What do I do?
Finish it up.
Die already. Got him. That's what you get. Stay on guard.
I can do this. Termination of enemy
Easy peasy.
Aegis activated. Terminal closure complete. Surrounding 2-kilometer area now fully secure.
Nick, I'm ready to be 85 years old playing Kingdom Hearts 4 for the first time. I always tell people I want to be that old man
Is anyone too compromised?
who just, you know, shakes his hands at clouds and goes, "You kids get off my lawn." I've been practicing that for the last 20 years.
Girls may be pushing their limits.
I'm still okay. I can keep fighting.
There are 3 terminals remaining. We can protect 2 of them with Aegis.
Preston's just lurking for a bit? No problem.
We're on our
You
own
do
with
you.
the last terminal.
How much longer do we need to hold out?
We need to reestablish a connection with Miyuki Inaba. That's still 10 hours off.
People are upset with the translation, Zero. Oh well, I don't know if they've been new to the whole video game thing, but believe it or not, every video game is not made in America with American English and culture values. So every single video game that comes out of America is translated. Imagine that. I think what they mean to say is, I want translators who fit my ideologies.
It doesn't matter. We'll hold the line.
And anybody who doesn't conform, they must not be professional. In other words, they're just projecting themselves. Damn, I have score multiplier and I still couldn't catch up? Really? That's depressing.
Well, Kisaragi, hope you're watching out there.
Frogs in a well, yeah. So basically they won't accept it unless it's their way? Of course. There are a lot of... Oh, interesting. Oh, so we can't get to the final battle until we complete every bit of story. Well, there you go. And we're only at 78% of it, so there you go. Last battle for a while. Strap in, everybody. It's going to be story mode from here on out. Where are we? Alright. Sounds fun? Ah. Preston, you of all people coming in from Danganronpa should understand that that game is 80% visual novel. Like 95% if you play the alternative modes. but yeah.
A girl with sides.
But hey, since it's chill, that means I can also talk to you guys more too.
She hears operation. That must be. She's. That student I saw in front of the school gate. She's Natsunomi Nami. She's likely already gone home by now. I'll have to wait until tomorrow morning.
If somebody gives a 1-star review and their complaint is something very shallow and one-dimensional, that just means that person didn't even play the game. They're just offended at something, one element, and their knee-jerk reaction thinking they can review bomb it. That's what they're trying to do. It's that whole cancel culture mentality that's just utterly ridiculous. They think they're making a change. So let them think what they want.
Service. One set is the user number, and the other is the password. So the numbers were for a message service. I wonder who would have left a message for me.
Himself. That's the reason why until I play a game or watch a movie myself, I never look at reviews. They're useless. All it is just a collection of other people's opinions. That's all reviews ever are. So why do I not listen to someone else's opinion before I get a chance to form my own? Some people do want other people to just think for them. Nah, not me. I want to think for myself, I want to form my own opinion, and then come back and discuss it with you. And if you are the type of person to form your opinion before you even consume a game or a movie, and I come at you, I'm like, cool, so I watched that movie and play the game, here's what I think, and you're like, oh, I actually didn't play that game or play that movie, I was just offended by it, I didn't want to give my money. Then I'm like, wow, you're a useless opinion then. Oh, it's my opinion, I can say whatever I want. You can. And you are that shallow and useless because of it. You are unqualified to have a level discussion of any meaningful quality. So, have a good day.
Hearing this message, unable to remember a thing. So, I've entrusted a message to a good friend of ours.
Nick, I'm surprised you haven't done a Silent Hill recap. If you think carefully, you might be able to understand why.
Looks like I'm out of time. Above all else, finish the job. It's for your sake. Understood? What does that mean?
I know, I love when people think that I'm allowed to have a dumb opinion, but they also somehow think that other people are not allowed to just dunk on their opinion. It's like, I have freedom of speech, you're right, and you know what that also means? It doesn't mean immunity from consequences for your freedom of speech. So you can walk up to somebody and be like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. And then if you get punched in the face, you can absolutely say, but freedom of speech, yeah, you were free to say what you wanted, and I was free to react the way I wanted to. Man, isn't liberty a great thing? I love it. It's so cool. See, what you want is you want consequence-free, accountability-free opinions, where your opinions are the only ones that are heard and anyone else has to just listen to them and accept them. My, what a selfishly shallow view of the world. Boy, I love how reality doesn't keep up with people like that. People like that probably have never had a proper job in the real life that involves interacting with literally other human beings, because they would realize very, very quickly that their opinion is very, very small and insignificant in the big world.
If that message from myself was true, then Natsunomi Nami is a key figure in all this. She may get me a step closer to recovering my memories. If I can really believe what I heard, that is. I guess I'd better get my hands on that data unit and find out. I'll do some investigating of my own on Minami. I just need to find her first. Now, how should I approach this? Why does this guy keep calling? Have I been following his orders this whole time? He wanted information.
Sounds like a definition for choosing beggar. I would say right.
Data unit.
Speech should be met with speech. Fists for words are unjust. Oh, of course. You can't punch people through the internet. That's why people think that saying hurtful things to other people is their only emotional plea. So that's why when somebody says something online, good, bad, or indifferent, people think the best way is good, bad, or indifferent doing something. However, to counter that sentiment, for people in the real life, actions speak louder than words. So if you can talk to somebody, and they do absolutely nothing, and a show of force is necessary in order to change the situation, then a show of force is necessary to change the situation. Because there are some people, believe it or not, you can talk to the cows come home, and if the other party isn't listening, you are not communicating. So your speech doesn't mean anything. You are in a vacuum. I think what you mean to say is fists should not be the first recourse, in which case I would agree. But keep in mind, like anything else, it's just a tool for when things are appropriate.
I wouldn't mind having Fuyusaka tag along. She may even be able to help me find Natsunomi Nami. But I don't want to get her mixed up in all this.
I wish we could all be kind to one another. Oh, absolutely. However, allow me to tell you this. I have no problems with people trying to plant flowers in the garden, but please understand that every gardener will tell you, you have to weed eat. You have to pluck weeds. You have to clip dead branches. You have to prune. Doesn't matter how many flowers you want to plant in that field, you have to kill the weeds. On the flip side, I love it when people can only respond 2 words, because as it turns out, many people are very, very emotionally immature to handle discussions, and therefore words are the best way of handling people.
Let's see. Attempting to delay nanomachine separation in the brain.
Because everybody responds differently to different stimuli. Some people respond better with words. Some people respond better with force. Some people respond better when you don't do anything at all. Everybody's different. There is not one whitewash, one-size-fits-all solution to all people. People are not that simple.
How she's doing. Without the pills, her memory must also be suffering.
Some people can be bought over with words, some people cannot be bought over with words. Some people can be bought over with emotions, some people cannot be bought over with emotions. All this you learn when you just talk to other people and interact with other people.
Wait a minute.
A lot of people expect different things out of life, expect different things from themselves, and therefore approach different situations with different euphemisms, sentiments, principles, things like that. Alright, I think we're on the right trail now.
I'll wait for school to get out tomorrow. Then I'll head over to the track room. Fuyusaka's at the front gate. She's still waiting for me. Things might heat up again. I can't drag her into this. If anything were to happen to her, I wouldn't be able
I can't
to
think of a
forgive
speech
myself.
that would justify force if the speech hasn't escalated to force first. I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. Of a speech that would justify force if the speech hasn't escalated to force first. I'm not sure about that last part. What do you mean the speech hasn't escalated to force first? Are you saying that people are talking about using force and therefore make a speech about justifying said force? Is that what you're talking about?
Fuyusaka wasn't kidding. They're crawling all over campus.
Can't go this way at all. Really?
Can't go that way either. Excuse me. Where can I find someone who's on the track team?
Oh, well, we're on the track team. Do you need something? We have... If you don't need anything...
I'm looking for a student by the name of Natsuno Minami.
Oh, Minami? She went for a run around the school. She hasn't come back yet. Yep, that's right.
Around the school. Got it. Thanks. That's...
And this must be the part where she ran to the old school building.
She's the one who delivered that package to me. The one that contained the message to myself. Looks like she goes to this school too.
Juan Rosales, how's it going today? Thanks for joining chat. Yeah, let's follow her. I think it's going to lead to the confrontation in the old school building.
Where'd she go? Is she messing with me?
Rhetoric that one disagrees with but has not been made a physical showing would be unjustly met with force in response. It seems more appropriate to disagree and disconnect if a compromise cannot be met.
She's definitely up to something. Natsuno Minami.
Isn't the part where he runs into... Okay. I was gonna say, encounters the Men in Black.
For what? This asshole just held a gun to your face.
Stop this right now, you two.
Fine.
Throughout all the Danganronpa games, who is your all-time favorite character? I have a hard time thinking I was cheering for anybody during any of them.
You seem to know who I am. Care to explain what's going on?
You really forgot everything, huh? Just like Shinonome.
Let me take a look at the Danganronpa characters real fast.
That's why I can't get a good read on you. Hard to tell whose side you're on right now.
You two. you lured me all the way over
Let's
here.
see.
What are you planning?
Planning? I thought you came for him, right?
I think Fuyuhiko was cool.
Him?
You know, his good version.
That's
Let's see.
what showed me the
Kokichi I
footage
like
of
because he
myself.
spun a lot of mad truth. His false version. It sucks because a lot of these people's false versions are the versions we get. I think out of everyone in V3, I think I like Kokichi the most. I think he just got it. So here's a counterpoint, Kalama, in terms of what you're saying. A show of force, by the way, you clarified in the first part that it was a physical showing. You don't have to justify force using a physical showing. There are many ways to exert pressure and force on an opposite party. In fact, some of the most common ways that have been done, like the easy one to point to is warfare, violence, things like that. But that's the part where I'm caught up where it's like you made a specific point to then clarify physical showing. But that's not necessarily the strongest way that people actually put force on opposite parties they disagree with. There are ways to damage people socially. You can starve people out in a vendor of resources. And the most common way is just money. You can buy people's opinions. You can buy people's motives. Everybody has a price. Everything is negotiable. And it's not even necessarily money. You can put pressure on other people in such a variety of ways that you don't have to lift a finger in violence to do so. You can starve people out economically. There are so many ways of going about it. Oh, you're referring to the punch to the face point? Oh, sure. I mean, that was just an easy example. And even then, I revert to verbal fisticuffs as a verbal debate. So sorry if I didn't clarify that. That doesn't mean if somebody says something, you punch him in the face. There are many ways to hurt people without necessarily punching them in the face. That's actually the easiest way. To me, one of the best ways of doing so is exposing people to undeniable hurtful truths. They hurt so much more than lies. That's why words have power, because other people can give them power. Words are just words. But if the other person believes in a word or a value so much, then you can absolutely flip that on them and use that to expose horrible, inconvenient truths that they have to live with in their own head because A, they value it a lot, and B, it's the truth. So unlike a lie which they can fervently deny, they themselves who know the topic or the subject so well, it hurts them at a mental level. That is a way you can put pressure on people. There are lots of ways to disagree with people. But yeah, it's kind of like it's like a way of Bane, if I want to use like a comic book example. Bane kind of hits that pretty well, where it's like, you know, you can talk as much as you want, and all these people who claim to have power, guess what? At the end of the day, if I take away the system and structure that you believe in, like all your platitudes about everybody joining together and a society working together, cool, let's go ahead and test that against a bunch of hungry people who want to protect themselves, who want to protect the values they want, and also I can just snap your neck whenever I want, and your platitudes aren't going to help you. It's like, do you feel powerful in this situation? Do you feel your words have power? Because I'm a receiving party that doesn't believe in that, so it doesn't work. Bane had a social point there. He knew how to hurt people mentally, he knew how to hurt people psychologically, and of course, to protect against the obvious, he knew how to hurt people physically. That's what made Bane an interesting antagonist, is that he was a triple threat. He wasn't just, I'm gonna hurt people in the face. He did that if it was necessary, but if there was a way to take advantage of it, he totally would. He was a very smart guy.
How do you... Just who in the world are you?
If you defeat people in their head first, then it's easy. Remember, battles are won before they're ever fought.
No.
Even openly expressing dissent in a manner of words is a show of force. Just convincing people to change their mind is an incredibly potent force. That's the reason why the media is so constantly controlled. Is because if you can persuade people, even a portion of them, to think a certain way, Doesn't matter if it's true or not. If enough people say it's true, then it becomes true in their head. That's the power of faith and belief. When people say faith, they think about religion. Religion is one aspect of it. Faith is just simply believing in something. Like science, there's a lot of faith that goes into science. A lot of people don't like to look at it, thinking that they're mutually exclusive or not.
So this is it. This is the data unit I was told to seek out.
There's a message.
Just the concept of trust and promises and economy, government, law. Law is simply trust. It's a giant social contract. And there are people that choose to disagree with that social contract. But it's a social contract we have with each other. We're social animals by instinct.
Yes. I can't let them get their hands on this information.
My partnership with Ida. My dishonesty. You knew all along. Didn't you, Miura?
You might not know this, but you're a terrible liar.
I guess so. Why didn't you show me the data after it was analyzed? Because you took pity on me?
Some things are best
I guess in that way, maybe that's part of the reason why I enjoy Kokichi, because he understood that as well,
About my own past,
as an ultimate supreme
no matter
leader.
how terrible I was. Can you link me to the logs through this message?
Sekigahara.
Please, Miura. Show me the logs from 2188. Who's the target?
The leading figure in nanotech research.
Not gonna lie, A, when he's older,
Chihiro Morimura.
looks kind of lame.
She's a former executive of Newman Inc.
After she left the company, I allowed her to participate in Shikishima's project. The project was put on hold, but she continues working on it despite our warnings. Our company will suffer massive losses as a result.
That's not the real reason.
Excuse me.
You pushed for the acquisition of Newman Inc.
Leaving the
That
empty milk
initiated
carton in the
backdoor
fridge.
transfer of a large slush fund.
There are passive-aggressive ways of putting pressure on people too.
Morimura's Interstellar Development Project.
That is just simply
It was
one
of
way to
12
fight.
that were showcased for the acquisition. You used the project as a cover for the real use of your funds. But Morimura's actions threw a wrench in your plans. If an international agency were to catch wind of the situation, they'll definitely launch an investigation. And that will put you in danger of losing your position.
Are you threatening me, Sekigahara?
Like I'd waste my time. I'm an assassin. A professional. If I'm
Zaf has too much eyeshadow on him? Nah, he's just a tired guy. He has just, you know,
detail on my target.
just bags under his eyes. He's worked long days. I relate. If you look at my eyes right now, they constantly have dark circles under them. I don't add any eyeshadow. That's all natural, baby.
You'll find her research
All
lab
natural
there.
bags under the eyes.
I'll be heading into orbit myself next month for an inspection. I want the job handled by then. And be discreet.
That's just sleep deprivation? Yep, Ciro's got it.
I've
That's
just
exactly
sent
what you
over
look
security
like.
details for Sector 4. You'll also find a security personnel ID for your use. Eliminate Chihiro Morimura and put an end to the project.
Nick, did you miss a joke on the Silent Hill recap comment, or was there a legit reason to cover them? Oh, okay. I guess we'll just be straight and explain why. After this. Yeah. So the real reason I don't do the Silent Hill one is because it doesn't fit my criteria for an effective recap, which is establishing a story with a canon ending, or at least an accepted quote-unquote good or truthful ending. It's easy in cases like, say, Silent Hill 1 to choose the ending because, okay, we're going to choose the ending that results in Heather in Silent Hill 3, so we can go with that. However, what about Silent Hill 2? Which of those endings is the legit one? Because it's deliberately open-ended. And I can only choose one. I'm not going to cover all of the endings. Especially where your purpose and your meaning and your choices are reflected in that game as well, and then spit back out to you in that ending. It doesn't make for a very good recap. That's the reason why I don't. I avoid games like that. There have been some ways that I've been able to cleverly work them in, because sometimes the concept of a multiple ending is significant, or there have been outside sources that I've been able to reference, such as, okay, you wrote all this, but what did the author really want in terms of the ending? Sometimes there are interviews like that, which is, which ending did you like? And the writer will be like, actually, I like this ending the most. And sometimes I'll go with that. Or in the case of, like, say, Nier Automata, where I just referenced the official book, and the official book chose this pathway with these events on these choices to result in this ending. And these characters lived and these characters didn't. That's the ending I went with. But normally, I avoid those. If you're ever curious about the actual criteria for how I choose which games get recapped and the ones that don't, there is a quick metagame, old school metagame. No, it's not metagame, it's Digital Hindsight, which is my opinion piece / personal comments one. It's called How I Pick Recaps. If you watch that really quickly, then it literally explains what my process is and why some games make the cut and some games I will never do.
Morimura's that one teacher, right? You came here from the future to kill her? But more importantly, the hell were you doing with that four-eyed bastard?
I'm an assassin? Morimura. So I really did do it. No. I wasn't going after Fuyusaka next, was I? And I've been lying to Miura. Was it about the change in command? No. That can't be right.
There you are.
Keeping an eye on me with your drone?
Finding you was simply a coincidence. Just like you, I'm now considered deceased. Ever since the battle in Sector 2, I've been in hiding. I wasn't too worried about you. Knowing you, I figured you'd keep yourself out of trouble.
So tell me, back on the battlefield in 2064, who used DD-426?
Someone did his research. Your Sentinel was the source of the infection. So the evidence suggests that you're the one who used it.
Guess that's how it looks.
I'm not sure who the real culprit is. However, Chihiro Morimura enacted Operation Aegis after we lost.
What is Operation Aegis?
Are you going to use Fate Extra record to recap Fate Extra?
What the hell happened?
I'll cross that bridge when I get to
Sector
it.
3 was used as a trial run of sorts.
I try not to think too far about
on,
the steps and processes
but it was
for a
enough to
future recap
activate
that I
the
haven't
self-defense
locked
system.
in yet.
Sector 4 will be the real deal.
The 1980s.
I prepare some recaps months
Once
ahead of
all
time,
the terminals are
but it's a
sealed by
long
the
queue.
self-defense system,
It doesn't usually
then
change.
Operation Aegis will be fulfilled.
I also don't tell people
If
about
that
what's in the
succeeds,
far off
we'll no
queue,
longer be able
because,
to loop.
you know, I could just change
And
my
we
mind,
can't
or
let
something
that
more
happen.
urgent can happen. Sometimes it helps to just be flexible, but still have a plan.
By loop, you mean going back in time, right? How is that different from shifting?
Well, this world was created only 15 years ago. You come from a different world, where the year is 2064. Your world never existed prior to 2049.
Never existed. But we're in 2025 right now, aren't we?
This is neither the past nor the future. That's how the 5 sectors were designed. They were created when you arrived from another world.
You're playing
I've had
dramatic
enough of this
music.
crap. If there's really some other world, then prove it.
I take it you're aware of Miura's logs.
Logs?
Logs of the year 2188. I made an interesting discovery after studying the data myself. I learned that the real world is in 2188. We were meant to return there eventually. However, this world is destroyed before that time can come. A tragic incident indeed. Especially if it was the result of someone's careless actions. Our enemies, the ones we call kaiju, have one goal. To gain control over every mainframe in all sectors. Once that's accomplished,
gotta protect
the 5
mainframe.
sectors
We
will
gotta mend and
reset.
defend.
This causes the world to be recreated. And that includes you. Morimura and I didn't exactly go back in time. We merely skipped the recreation.
This kind of reminds me of this one Doctor Who episode where he comes across this world and they've been fighting wars for years and years and generations and creating different clones, but it all actually, everything everyone ever thought they knew only existed in the last week. Like that philosophical concept where you can't disprove the fact that everything you know was, the entire universe was created in the last 5 minutes.
Didn't you deliver those pills to Morimura? For Izumi and Shinonome-kun? You and the others have no hope of fully recovering. However, there is a way for you to survive.
How?
I'll extract your data from before you lost your memories. Then I'll take it with me to the recreated world. That should stop the effects of DD-426.
Can you really do that? So then, what do you need me for?
To make sure we can loop, of course. I intend to stop Operation Aegis so we can start over again. And if I'm going to do that, I'll need your help. Still don't believe me?
Not really.
Well, you will once you see the logs for yourself. I need you to find Sentinel number 17. I know he made a copy of it. The data will be useful in the next world, so I'd like to get my hands on it. See that drone over there?
Drone? This thing?
Yes, but don't activate it just yet. That's no ordinary drone. It's him.
Miura?
It was before the Sentinels were randomly transmitted. He transferred himself into that drone and escaped. I managed to secure him in Sector 2. He doesn't entirely agree with my methods, though. As such, he's chosen not to cooperate. It would be best if you told him you saved him from me.
Come again?
You're going to convince him that you've saved him. Then, you'll retrieve the data from him.
You're asking me to lie to him?
He received command over Sentinel number 17 instead of me. I'm not exactly sure why, but he's the only one who can track and activate it. For your sake, cooperate. I'll ensure that Miura comes with us. Above all, this is for you and Shinonome-kun. Well then. You can't use the gate at school due to structural damage. I've set new coordinates further ahead. Feel free to use that one.
Hang on, I never...
To avoid suspicion, I'll have my men continue following you. They won't be aware of our plans, however. So try not to get caught. I'm heading back to Sector 4.
glad you're okay.
Nice. Takatoshi's available now. Oh, we can't finish him yet. He's actually more restricted than Takatoshi. Let's work with him. He's only at 62%. I like jumping to the characters that are one rad for another, because sometimes you see them link up in their scenarios real fast. Yeah, we still have a bunch of stuff with him. That's probably the truth one. Alright, so we have all the keys we need for this.
Chihiro. Renya Goto. He's the one who took Chihiro from me. He might be the same guy that Tamao-san gets her pills from. That scout unit isn't... According to Natsuno-san, a boy named Renya Goto attends school in this era. He can apparently travel through time too. And BJ
I feel time
said he's
flies
from
more
80
when we're actually
years in
doing the story
future.
segments and the battle segments.
Natsuno, back in 1945, everyone mysteriously vanished. But here in 1985, 40 years later, there's no historical evidence or impact from that event. It reminds me of a concept I read about in a science book. The idea of two similar parallel worlds. According to the history of this era, it has indeed been 40 years. But this era doesn't seem to be based on the era I'm from. The two aren't connected. Perhaps this isn't really time travel after all. Renya Goto. He's the one who took Chihiro from me. If he's in 1985, then Chihiro will be with him. Even if I do bring the Sentinel back home, how can I bring myself to fight?
It's been an unexpectedly philosophical night tonight, hasn't it?
Our mother... The cut... Could he be at the school? I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find him. And I'm going to get Chihiro back.
Okay, good. I didn't want it to be this situation up there.
Renya Goto is Natsuno-san's senpai. He also attends the school in 1985. And according to BJ,
I don't think he can actually see anything
he's
beyond the
from
lip of his
even
cap.
further into the future.
Zaf, you only pop in every other stream, so you're out of the loop. I getcha. That's okay. It's all still a giant puzzle piece. Just slowly connecting together. I think the big one you'll want to pay attention to is the Goto one when we eventually do it, because it seems like with him, we gotta do... He is gonna have like the biggest set of revelations one after another. Probably explaining the acts of those who are in the shadows right now.
Miura-kun.
Natsuno-san. Perfect timing. I was just about to go looking for you.
Same here. I've been worried about you, Miura-kun.
Thanks, but I'm fine. In fact, I came here to find Renya Goto. But I have no idea what he looks like or how he dresses. Could you point him out to me?
That might be a little tough. Goto-senpai hasn't been back on campus. I asked around and no teacher knows where he lives.
Well, that's a problem.
Matsuno-chan!
Miwako!
Done with practice already?
Oh, you have that picture of Goto-senpai, right? The one you took when he wasn't looking?
Hey! Not so loud!
Sorry. So do you have it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is it! Miura-kun! Look, I've got a picture of Goto-senpai.
Pardon my interruption.
He's the tall guy in the back.
This here is Renya Goto? The one with the glasses?
Yep, that's him. Thanks, Miwako.
How could this be? The man I saw at the park was Renya Goto. The bastard who kidnapped Chihiro.
See you later, bye. If anyone wants to watch a confusing movie, you recommend Predestination with Ethan Hawke. I haven't seen that. I don't think I've even heard of it.
Chihiro? It really is you, isn't it? Please say something. Chihiro. I found this. It survived the air raid. I meant to give it back to you earlier. This is your favorite stuffed animal, isn't it?
Big brother.
Don't lose it again, all right?
I won't.
Chihiro, it really is you.
Because, yeah, we've seen that rabbit in her bag in a couple of the different routes, and that kind of establishes when this took place. This is before a lot of them.
It's true. It's not like my memories were displaced. My blissful dependency as your little sister. It's become part of my identity. Denial can cause enormous strain to one's psyche.
Chihiro?
Yeah, kids say the darndest things.
Are you okay?
Better than okay. I've regained my original memories. I'm Chihiro Morimura.
Morimura?
You're the one who insisted on keeping that a secret. Yet you gave it away in the end.
It's you.
Sometimes a bold change in plans is necessary. You'd know that better than anyone. Wouldn't you, Goto-kun?
I didn't expect to see you here.
Renya Goto, what the hell did you do to Chihiro?
I don't appreciate the hostility. But what you see here is Chihiro in her original state. She was never your little sister to begin with.
Shut up! I'm not listening to a word you say. I won't forgive you. And I will avenge Tamao-san.
I believe you misunderstand the situation.
Chihiro, listen to your big brother and come with me. We're going.
Where exactly? Back to 1945 where no one's left? Don't you see? It doesn't matter where we run.
Truth bomb.
If we have any hopes of preventing the loop, we need to prioritize gaining control over all systems. You've always been the dependable type. You used to be an excellent design engineer.
What are you talking about?
I'll always be on your side, Chihiro. That's what you told me, remember? So please, cooperate. Is everything prepared, Goto-kun?
Already.
Good. Then I shouldn't waste any more time. Let's hurry.
Chihiro!
Don't even bother.
Get out of my way. Chihiro is coming with me.
She's being targeted for assassination. And I highly doubt you have the capacity to protect her.
What? Who would...
A Sekigahara. Should you decide to cooperate, let me know.
Sekigahara. Did he travel through time too? Is that how he got here? Tamao. The military police are gone for now.
How are things looking?
They're searching for Kiriko-san.
I can't believe she's a spy.
They seem to think she's associated with him. He must have dragged her into this. I just don't understand. Why protect a wanted man?
That woman... Her name isn't Kiriko Doji. And she doesn't come from this world.
You're a lunatic.
I don't get it. What could she want with the Sentinel?
You know about the Sentinel? You really are a spy.
If she were to try and escape, she'd likely use the gate. If we leave now, we might be able to catch up to her.
Sekigahara-san, please, I have to know the truth.
You can't handle the
I was told
truth.
that my parents aren't really my parents, and that I was brought here from the future.
Is that what Kiriko Doji told you?
I don't know why she'd lie, but I think that explains the dreams I keep having.
She's tampered with your memories.
He's out of his mind. Don't listen to a word he says, Tamao-san. We should just turn him in.
Keitaro-san, please. I don't want it to come to that.
Keitaro? As in Keitaro Miura?
How the hell do you know my name?
Because I'm a spy. I think that they always have these bars here, or not these bars, these interaction gates where even though all you're doing, there's nothing else you can do except talk to the one thing and proceed a story, instead of having it play out like a giant long cutscene. So they make sure you are in fact paying attention.
I see. So it's you.
A subtlety in game design.
What are you on about now?
You and I have been fighting alongside each other.
I've never seen you before in my life.
The Miura of this era hasn't. The Miura of the future has.
The future?
Yes. He no longer has his physical body. His consciousness is currently stored inside a scout unit.
Then Keitaro-san is...
One and the same.
I've had enough of this nonsense. You, come with me. I'm taking you in.
Don't move.
Sekigahara-san!
You bastard.
Like you said, I'm out of my mind. Poison is coursing through my brain as we speak.
This was kind of written like a light novel when you think about it.
Yes.
Alright, we'll do one last scenario and then we'll call it a night. She's at 62%. Megami is probably the lowest, besides obviously Goto. She has a lot of stuff going on, especially with 426, so I want to kind of save her for later, especially since I like her character. I like her motivations and what she's going through. She has a lot of questions I have in general. So I think I might wrap her up next. And I do want to leave my main man right here pretty much. I'll unlock him since we can. But we're not going to do it just yet. Because I know between him and Okino, who have been doing a whole bunch of stuff in the background, getting a lot of information, we're going to learn a ton of stuff. And of course with him, who we have to get everybody over 80% just to see his story, he's meant to be last. So we're going to wrap it up. You know, he's kind of meant to be second to last. He's meant to be last. And he's meant to be third to last. Actually, no, he's the second to last. So A's going to have something interesting. Unless he has a further gate, which he might, because he's at 42%. So all these characters are relevant to the story in some way? Yep, that's understating it. Every single person here is the story. All of them are intertwining story points to build the overall story. The overall narrative, if you will. Alright. One more for Keitaro. And we'll probably finish him up next time, because after this, he probably only has 2-3 more chapters tops.
Chihiro. She was acting like a completely different person. Design engineer? Controlling the system? What was she talking about?
I understand when some people say, I don't have the patience for visual novels, which I find incredibly ironic, because what they mean to say is, I don't have the patience for this type of engagement with the interactive medium of storytelling. However, if it's something that requires me to throw myself at a boss that takes 3 hours to figure out how to kill and build a skill set and patience required for it, you have the patience for that, but you can't spend 3 hours either reading or having a visual novel told to you. So you do have patience, but I think it's the context with which it is. Not dumping on people that dislike it for that reason. Just pointing out that I'd like to clarify your excuse a bit.
Make sense out of his story. And still too early to say anything for sure.
It's like when people say, oh, I don't like RPGs because I don't like turn-based combat. Well, that right there is your mistake, is because you are assuming every RPG has turn-based combat. And all turn-based combat is the same, which it most certainly is not. I think you just ate a weird sandwich you didn't like, and unfortunately have applied that broad stroke to every single thing in the genre.
I want to hear her voice right now.
But it's okay. Some people just want to make a false misunderstanding based on a misconception, based on misinformation. I mean, it's their choice. I don't know if I want to go to Sakura High School just yet. Not just yet.
Back in... What's happened to her? Chihiro...
That might be my only option now.
Morimura? She's the original Chihiro? Is there no going back to the way she used to be? Chihiro.
I guess that is our only option.
Natsuno. No point. Natsuno-san. No.
Oh, she didn't come out to meet us.
What do I do?
What's the hurry?
Miura-kun. BJ's gone. I'm pretty sure he's lost.
Every video you click on, you see us stream the recommendations. That might be a YouTube thing. Don't you know, Preston? I am inevitable. All those streams and videos you watch, and where did they lead you? Back to me.
All right. Let's split up and find him.
Okay. He couldn't have gone too far. Maybe he's inside one of the school buildings.
We're almost done here.
Okay.
So I'll be adding
then
your
you search the
recommendations
buildings.
pretty soon.
I'll search the campus perimeter.
Okay, I'm on it. Thanks.
I'm just gonna mosey on along. Nope, apparently not. Can't go through here. We either have to go through there.
Did you see that flying RC thing? It went back behind the North School building. Think it belongs to the radio club?
It was all boxy and weird shaped. Didn't look like a helicopter to me.
So it can fly. Behind the North building. That's where the old school building is.
Because we still haven't addressed the point during one of the people's routes. I don't remember whose it was, where BJ was assimilated by 426. After the bathroom scene.
No sign of him. Sounds like rotor blades. Are you trying to draw attention to yourself? Natsuno-san's worried about you.
Hikaru Miura. I've been scanning for you from overhead.
Well, that's fortunate. I've been looking for you, too. Is what Sekigahara said true? Are you... me?
That's correct.
Preston, you're alone, no one's chatting. That's okay. It's because it's late at night, and I'm terribly boring. We have a lot of
Why do you look
a lot
like
of very
this?
intensely focused people
When the world was
who are just, you know,
destroyed,
lurking.
I died. I had to take your place and fight in the Sentinel. In order to do this, I was resurrected as an AI.
So you've been using a Sentinel to fight off those monsters. That's what you're looking for, right?
Correct.
Then how did your AI end up in this scout unit?
There was a malfunction in the Sentinel. So I uploaded a part of myself to this drone. However, 72% of me is still wrapped inside the Sentinel.
Does Natsuno-san know that you're me?
We didn't get a chance to meet in the previous world.
I mean, everyone's been calling him Miura.
I'm very
How have people
sorry
not
about
connected that
Natsuno.
he's obviously the AI back
It's
above
best
him?
that he doesn't
They've
know.
literally been calling the BJ Miura. Or at least 2 or 3 people have at least. Maybe not around Natsuno, but I could have sworn. I don't know, maybe she hasn't connected the two, but it's like a lot of people have been calling him that directly. They don't call him BJ. That's something Natsuno only specifically calls him. Everyone else says, oh, it's Miura.
If you're really from the future...
This guy's name is
you must
Kitaro?
know
Yes.
What's going to
Kitaro
happen.
Miura.
My experiences are all from past events.
Past events?
Time is relative. Even with future technology, time
Do you
travel
recognize
is
his voice?
impossible. We never traveled through time.
But You're Keitaro Miura from the future, right?
I'm an entity that used to be Miura. Before you. I located the Sentinel. I can now access all logs.
So the rest of the footage is available.
Promise me. Before the final invasion begins, you'll research the logs and figure out a solution. Chihiro Morimura's plan, Operation Aegis. It will lead you all down a path of destruction.
Chihiro's plan?
Promise me.
Why are you asking me this?
Because I'll be gone soon.
Morimura-san.
Is all going as planned?
All issues have been resolved on my end. 4 sectors are ready for the final phase. The remaining one is at roughly 70%.
Sectors?
Their structures are similar to these colonies. So that's what I've been calling them.
So we'll have 5 sectors then.
I've chosen not to divide them based on orbital positions. Instead, I've separated them by historical eras. I've been meaning to ask.
Oh, he's Genos from One Punch Man? I haven't seen that in English, so I wouldn't know.
From a time before the world took such a terrible turn.
Before the nanomachine incidents?
Perhaps
I haven't read almost any manga in the last month, couldn't think of it. Just so busy with holidays and trying to catch up with content. I'm behind a couple chapters.
Preparing residential districts by era.
I've always wanted to live in the 20th century before the war. So this works out perfectly. However, some resources of the era are quite old. Accurately reproducing them might pose a difficulty. I don't think I can do it with confidence.
That's fine. As long as our civilization survives, I'll be happy.
He played one of your least favorite characters from Hunter x Hunter. Who did he play?
It'll have a bustling population of 1.2 million people.
We have more residential areas than we originally planned. Miss Karabe's hands are going to be awfully full.
I'm sure everything will be finished on time. I have to get back to work.
Understood.
Yep, the next one will be... Ah, okay, so we can't progress until we get more to Takatoshi. They're all starting to flow into each other, which I appreciate. We may want to do Takatoshi then, before we just jump straight into Ryoko and Megumi. I don't know, we might lead off with Megumi next time. Next time is probably going to be almost entirely visual novel. But it seems we're very close to the end. We're wrapping up on a lot of people's stories very quickly. Let's see if anybody got unlocked anything new. We have 60 mystery points. They are so generous with those mystery points. And there's nothing to spend it on. What strange pacing that would give us so many mystery points we can't spend it on anything. Huh. He played Colt? Oh, I see. Then you want to get what's in his friend's code? Yeah, this isn't Twitch. We don't have cool commands like that. YouTube needs to get up on that. But yeah, check the stream description. You'll see everything you need down there. It's open forum for anyone who wants to join in, so if you're the type of person who can tolerate listening to my long-winded rants about whatever, be it game design, philosophy, economics, preferences about what I like, recapitation, anything like that, then by all means, please go ahead and join the Discord. Lots of fun folks there that also do not agree with the way that I think, which is great because that provides a wonderful environment for civil and constructive discussion, and more than anything, an exchange of ideas. We were talking about early this morning how, unlike most, like, say, Reddit or Twitter or other people's Discords, I never delete anyone's comments, and I think it's because I value all sorts of input. Even if it's an input I disagree with, I believe in discussion and debate. Discussion and debate are probably my favorite weapons. Because, again, one of those powerful things I think you can do to somebody else is change their mind. Because everything else comes from that. Ideas turn into thoughts. Thoughts turn into ideas and attitudes. And everything just flows from there. Bruno Bucciarati. Nice. Got another JoJo fan. That's okay, I like JoJo. Okay. Alright, I don't think there's really anything else to talk about right now. I'm glad you guys got together to play Smash. Connecting people. I feel like I helped make a difference today. Still have a lot of stuff to do here, too. I just now noticed on the far right, they have all the stuff for the different sectors going on to see what's going on. And so we kind of look at it in that way. You can really space together what's happening and see that it actually is just one long linear story. It's just instead of being told in such a flat vanilla way, which some people may have preferred, they chose not to. They chose to do something more interesting with it. And interesting it certainly is. Kitara's voice actor is also Koichi. Well, which Koichi? Are you talking about JoJo Koichi? Koichi's a pretty common name. Oh, you were talking about it. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, Koichi is probably my favorite character from Chapter 4. Him and Rohan were basically the MVP. But anyway, we're not going to get into a JoJo discussion. That'll be it for this week. To everybody, Happy New Year. Whatever the significance of that means to you, I think Happy New Year is important to everyone. I'm not going to give the same tired speech. This was a hard year. Every year's hard, man. Just for different reasons, different circumstances, and different people. Stop acting like one year is just magically worse than another. It's not like we had a World War III and there was a massive amount of just global slaughter and ceaseless violence. Like, it could be so much worse. That doesn't mean that things aren't tough all around, and I encourage everybody to hopefully keep your spirits high, an attitude of gratitude, and stay, be positive. Focus on your health. Try not to be too lethargic. Don't eat so much bread. Everything in moderation. Don't eat too much red meat and too much bread. Like, a little bit's fine, but not too much. Not three times a day. Do I have a Switch? Yes, I do. If you go on the Allies Looking for Group part of the Discord, you will see my information as well as other people's informations for, like, their Switch code and things like that. I put, like, everything on there. Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Twitter, like, all my crap there. In fact, while I'm there, let me take off Monster Hunter World because I don't play that anymore. Because everything's going to be Monster Hunter Rise. I'll wait for that when it comes out. Alright. Is OBM a big team or just you? OBM's always been just me. And I know you're talking about, like, stream teams and stuff like that. I don't necessarily believe or buy into that. I mean, if other people do, that's great, but I've always been a one-man show. I don't have a production team. I don't have an editor. I don't have an audio engineer. I don't have a special effects artist. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have a writer. I don't have somebody that plays games for me. I do everything. I do all the streams, write all the scripts, cut all the footage, and make all the videos, written, produced, and narrated by me. I'm a one-man show. I am Oni Black Mage, Oni Black Mage is me. I would never want that either, like, as a label. It's like, yeah, this is the OBM team. It's like, that just seems so facetious. Anyway, everyone have a great New Year's. I am Oni Black Mage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next battlefield. See you guys on Sunday.